Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It's a rainy day here in San Diego. It's been raining since yesterday, Sunday, and it was much needed rain. Hadn't rained all season, and finally we got a little bit of rain. We'll take it. And this is In the Raw, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. I think I've shared this before. I have this little calendar that I've had for like 20 years or something, and it's a teacher calendar. And every 3 days, it's separated by 3 days, as you can see. But every 3 days, there's a new saying or a new quote. And today's caught my attention. It says, "If you have knowledge, let others light their candles with it." And this was said by Thomas Fuller. Thomas Fuller, if you're not familiar, was a slave in the 1700s. I think he was brought over to America beginning of the century, the 1700s, and he had something, he developed something very unique or very particular. He was known as a mental calculator. He became a very prominent mathematician, and what's very impressive was that he was self-taught. He was a genius, in other words. He was self-taught, and he was able to impress, his owners and then people at that time. And so he said this. He said, "If you have knowledge, let others light their candles with it." And this reminded me of what it says in the Bible. And I'll read what it says here in John 1:16, and then make a comment about that. It says, "For out of his fullness, the superabundance of his grace and truth." So this is John, the Apostle John, talking about God, about Jesus Christ. "Out of his fullness, the superabundance of his grace and truth, we have all received grace upon grace." In other words, spiritual blessing upon spiritual blessing, favor upon favor, and gift heaped upon gift. In other words, everything that we have, some notification came up, including, his, every gift that we have. What Thomas Fuller had was a gift, and every gift, every ability, everything that we have comes from God. And so he says here, John says here, it's grace upon grace. And Jesus said one time, "What you receive by grace, you should give by grace." And so Thomas Fuller is saying, you've received knowledge, let somebody else light their candle with your knowledge. So whatever you have, we all have knowledge. We all know something. So we should let others be blessed by our knowledge, by what we know, by the things that we know. Whether you know how to cook something and you share some, the recipe with somebody, whether you know how to work on a car engine, help others and teach others. That should be our purpose always, is to help others learn and teach others. I may be saying this as a teacher, but we should all we're all teachers, basically, in a way. Whether we teach our children, whether we teach others, people that we work with, whether we give somebody guidance, we're all, in a sense, teachers. So we need to give grace that we've received by grace upon grace. All right, well, I hope you have an amazing day, amazing week. We'll talk to you soon.